Alright, this is John Colo with DiscountJuicers.com. Today we have another exciting episode for you, and in this episode what I'll be doing is I'll be sharing with you guys the differences and similarities between the two Kuvings commercial juicers, right? They have two different models at present time when this video is being shot. They have the CS600, which is the whole slow juicer chef, and then over on this side they have the CS700, the whole slow juicer master chef. So they got the master in front of this one. This one's just a chef. Is the master superior than the chef, or are these guys really brothers and sisters with a different name? Alright, and that's what we're going to find out in this episode. In addition, I'll be juicing the same exact amount of produce in each machine to see if we get any kind of significantly higher yield in one machine or the other, and I personally doubt that. I guess first let's just get into the differences between these machines, and also why you may want to get this machine and actually why you may not want to get this machine, right? The most important thing for me at Discount Juicers is that you guys get the right juicer for you. Hands down, bar none. That's what I want for each one of you guys. That's why I take the time to produce, at this point, over 500 different videos comparing this juicer against that juicer, sharing my opinions, my experiences, and showing you guys the results. Also giving you guys my expert commentary so you guys get the right machine for you. And that's what I'm here to do first and foremost, because I remember when I was shopping for juicer, you know, now, geez, it was like 25, 26, 27 years ago. And there wasn't the resource available as YouTube with a guy like me making all these videos. I did have like a little comparison chart, so I kind of got to see the differences. But basically, you know, if I would have known more than what I knew then, I would have got a better juicer than a centrifugal ejection machine. But nonetheless, time moves on, and I'm glad I could help you guys get the right juicer so that you guys become juicers for life, or whether, you know, these guys are commercial machines, you guys start your own juice bar to get the juice message, get juice out to more people, and maybe even make some, you know, a business and some profit and make a living on the side or for full time, right? I think that's a great thing to do. So the next thing I want to ask you guys is a favor, right? If you guys enjoyed my videos, gained knowledge from my videos, they were helpful for you, that were really played a good role in helping you to select a juicer, I would encourage you guys to support me and my work by making your purchase at DiscountJuicers.com. We sell these two very juicers, as well as most of the other juicers that I show and demonstrate in my videos. So you guys could help support me. When you buy a juicer at Discount Juicers, you know, that helps me pay the light bills that I'm paying, you know, buy the SD cards for the camera, pay my mortgage and rent, and make my different insurance payments and everything I got to do in life. So I appreciate that a lot, so I can continue my mission to educate people about eating more fresh fruits and vegetables through juicing, or whether you're going to grow them or, you know, whatever else. So I appreciate that a lot. And I do want to let you guys know that we do have a price match policy. You know, should you find a lower price, then you let me know, and I will match the delivered price of any other authorized retailer of the same exact machine, and I will match their delivered price, right? Plus any shipping or sales tax they may charge you. I'm going to match the total out the door delivered price that you would get from a retailer. I would encourage you guys actually support me at the full price in general. I try to stay really competitive, and maybe I'll be $5 more or something, but you know, all I would ask you is all that knowledge and information that you've gained from me worth the $5 difference or whatever, right? So yeah, that's pretty much it. Support me. I want to thank you guys that have supported me in the past, and I want to thank you guys for those of you guys that will support me in the future, alright? So anyways, on with this video. These are the commercial model Kuvings, right? So the first question is, if you're a home user, then you need to ask yourself, do I really need a commercial machine, or will I be alright with a home one? Just because it's commercial, just because it costs 3 times more than the home machine, doesn't mean it's going to make 3 times more juice. A matter of fact, when I tested this very machine against my favorite Kuvings home juicer, the CS700, I'll put a link down below to that video, they made pretty much the same yield, you know, so there's no really significant difference in the yield or operation, and they seem to share some of the same exact parts. Maybe the motor is different, of course, it's a lot heavier duty motor. And, you know, so for most people that are home users, I would honestly save you guys money. You know, buy the home version. You're going to save about $1,000. Put that money into putting in a nice garden in your backyard so you have unlimited produce to juice. You don't have to worry about getting every last drop or having a commercial model or whatever. All right, that's number one. Number two, here's an exception. If you guys are home users and you have a big family, so I've sold several of these commercial machines to people with big families. I don't know, 4 kids, and they want to juice like 80 ounces of juice per person per day. And then it could come in handy, especially with the additional top set that includes if you want to change out recipes and whatnot. And the other thing I would say is that if you're a heavy duty single or couple, a person, and you just juice a lot. Like, I don't even juice enough to warrant this. My trusty juicer actually gave out to me today because I was using it maybe almost 2 hours straight. But generally, home juicers have a 30-minute duty cycle. So you should only use it for 30 minutes and then allow it to rest, although some of them will work a little bit longer before actually they shut themselves off. But you don't want the machine to auto shut itself down, because that's when it's actually at the critical point where it's too hot and it's going to shut down before it actually gets messed up, and the motor could do some damage to the motor, right? On the other hand, these guys can work 24 hours straight, so if you've had challenges with the motor stopping and not running properly, these are heavy duty motors. I guarantee it. These are the nicest motors on any vertical juicer that I've experienced so far. So that's the other reason, if you're a home user, you might want to get these guys, all right? Now, flip side, if you guys are commercial users, right, then you must get one of these two guys. I do not recommend using a home juicer for commercial use, or, well, I would recommend a commercial for home use in limited situations. So here's the thing, for home users buying a commercial machine thinking you're getting a better juicer because it's 3 times more money, the commercial warranty is only 1 year. The home warranty on the home unit is 10 years. So you're basically giving up 9 years of the warranty to get a commercial machine. Now granted, this commercial machine is built heavy duty, probably won't break down in the first year, but maybe in a couple years after that, maybe, and depending on how you use it. And now for commercial users, right, if you buy one of these machines, they also have a 1-year warranty, but if you buy a home machine which has a 10-year warranty, but they find out you're using it for commercial use, it null and voids your warranty. So you don't have any warranty right there, right? And plus the home machines are only built for a 30-minute duty cycle, and it's not going to put up to the abuse of commercial use. Now the next thing I'm talking about is some health departments in the USA require your machinery in your kitchen, even in your restaurant, and their whole kitchen to be NSF or to NSF standards, which means you're supposed to have like tile floors down there, and then these like white walls that like don't harbor bacteria, and all these stainless steel appliances. Anyways, the juicers have NSF approval. The CS600 does not have NSF approval. I've sold many to juice bars where health departments simply don't care. They're not concerned about your juicer being NSF or not. But of course, some other states may be more critical about having NSF certification, such as California, New York, New Jersey, maybe even some other places from what I'm aware. So I mean, that's another thing to know, right? You may need a commercial NSF approved juicer. If so, then you have to get the CS700. The CS600, it does not have that NSF certification. Now, another difference between these guys is that one is $300 more. The CS700 is $300 more than the CS600. At present time when this video is being filmed, I don't like to mention any straight out prices in my videos because prices are subject to change. Be sure to check the link down below as the first comment, or the description, for links to both these products to see their prices, if you want to learn and are interested in purchasing them. So yeah, this guy is $300 more, but if you need NSF, this is NSF. That isn't. I could show you guys on the side here. This one has a little sticker packet, and there's a little green emblem here, right here. That's the NSF, and if we turn this one to the side, there's no such sticker. Now here's the thing, like I know some of you guys might have the CS600, are always trying to look for a way to make a buck or save a buck. Can you buy the CS600 and then can I buy the top set separately and put that on the CS600, and now I have the commercial NSF version? So as much of the top set actually works on the CS600, because basically the motor bases are, for all practical purposes, the same. This one does have the sticker, this one doesn't. the top set will fit. No, you can't do this because this, although this is NSF certified, the base is not, because when they certify it to NSF, they certify the exact model number, and technically, even though you're putting on a new top set that it has NSF, the bottom still has the CS600 sticker. So unless you could somehow get a CS700 sticker, which ain't gonna happen, you're still not gonna be certified, compliant. All right, and likewise, the old top set will fit on the new CS700. So actually, these top sets are completely interchangeable, one between the other. And at present time, I don't think they're even selling the new stainless steel top set yet, until they get further inventory in. And then when they do, it's gonna be cheaper actually to buy this whole unit with the top set included than to try buy this one, and then this as an additional upgrade. It's gonna throw you over the $300 difference actually. So that's the differences in the prices, the NSF, so you guys understand that. I think the next thing is I want to just get into some of the mechanics of these machines and the differences in what is included, alright? So for the most part, both these machines, and I'm not showing this, they come with their 2 collection bowls, they come with a recipe book, they come with 3 different cleaning brushes, and just the standard stuff. So all that stuff's the same. I'm not going to show it because it's not different. What I am going to show is what is different, alright? So both these machines both come with their extra top sets. This is imperative when you buy these commercial units. Kuvings recommends that after every 20 minutes you basically take off one top set after you've been using it to juice, and then you put on the new top set just to ensure you have proper operation and make the highest yield without clogging up your top set, right? So every 20 minutes change. The other thing they want you to do, if it's not every 20 minutes, every recipe change. So if you're doing like carrots and beets and apples, and then you switch to like apple, pear, blueberries, then Kuvings also wants you to change out the top sets, because sometimes if you're juicing something soft after some things that are hard, that soft produce won't really push out the pulp of the hard stuff, and then it's going to back up jam and then give you guys problems. So that's why they give you 2 top sets, so you could always trade those out. There's no option to buy 1 top set because they don't want you to put you actually at that disadvantage. Okay, the third reason why you need to change out your top set is if you create 2 liters of juice. So say you're juicing the same recipe, you make 2 liters of juice. After 2 liters of juice, Kuvings wants you to change out your top set once again and put that second one on, just to ensure that you have proper operation, get the maximum yield, and little jamming or clogging. This is going to be especially important in my opinion on the CS700 model. Not quite as important as the CS600 model, as you guys will see in a minute. So yeah, both these machines have the 2 top sets. I guess the only other major difference on included parts is this part right here. Okay, so this part is an included part with the CS700, not with the CS600. I suppose if you want to get it for the CS600, you could actually purchase this as a separate purchase. I think it might cost maybe around $40, $50. And this is what's called the coarse screen. Both these machines come with a fine screen pre-installed, and I find the fine screen will pretty much work with anything. If you are juicing some fruits and maybe want to try to get a higher yield, or maybe you want a little bit more pulp in the juice actually, then you'd use the coarse screen. The only difference between the coarse screen and the standard screen is that the screen hole size is larger on this one, so it'll let a little bit more pulp out into the juice if that is what is desired. For certain recipes this may be beneficial. I did juice tangerines in this machine as my last episode, and on camera I had the fine screen. After the camera turned off, I basically switched over to this screen and juiced a similar amount, and I basically got this pretty much the same yield. So I'm not going to say this makes any huge difference, and honestly probably don't really need it, but it's nice to have. So those are the things included with the machine. I mean, overall it's pretty much the same, except you get the coarse screen with this. Otherwise, accessories are the same. Now, the next thing I want to talk about are optional accessories. So the CS600 has 2 optional accessories. They have this guy, which is the clear screen. This is actually the sorbet screen. This sorbet screen is designed to work with this plastic drum right here. So this will work with the CS600. This is an additional purchase should you want to make sorbets in the CS600. But this screen is not designed to work with the stainless steel bowl. When you put it in the bowl here, it kind of like does not mesh up to where it needs to be, so it's not going to work properly should you try to use this. So it is not available for the CS700, all right? The other optional attachment that you can purchase for either machine, not included with either machine, but optional purchase, is the smoothie attachment. So while this may look like that coarse hole screen, actually this does not quite have as many holes in it as the coarse hole screen. And the thing is, the bottom of this screen is actually a plug shut. So it will not allow you to make juice, but this allows you to make low RPM smoothies, which in my opinion is better than a high-speed smoothie, but not as good as a vacuum blended smoothie. And then the other thing is this works very slow. I mean, you guys in commercial establishments could throw everything in the blender, blast it for 30 seconds, blend it up, and be done. The smoothie attachment is good if you're doing a home smoothie to maximize your nutrition. Instead of blasting things at 20,000 RPMs, you're just going at 60 RPMs to gently extract the nutrients into your smoothie, although it does leave some waste in there, unlike a standard blender where it actually pulverizes everything. And this does take some time. So yeah, for commercial use, I would not even recommend getting this smoothie attachment. For home use, that might be kind of an interesting tool to have. I used it once when I made the original video with it, and other than that, I use a vacuum blender personally, all right? So those are the two attachments. I mean, no big major deal. I mean, this one, if you got to make the sorbets, then you definitely want to get this unit. But if you want the coarse screen, then you guys can get this one. So that's that's some of the differences there. I guess next I want to go into the differences of the machines themselves. Okay, so first we could take out the pushers, and the pushers are a little bit different, and that's because the feed chutes on both these guys are a little bit different. I mean, I actually kind of, well, each one of these have their pros and cons. I like this pusher because it actually kind of gets down deeper in there to help like push things in. But I like this one because it's like kind of an easier, better shape. This is kind of like seems a little bit awkward, but yeah, no big deal on either pusher you get. And actually, honestly, I want to let you guys know that you should not even really have to use the pusher when using any vertical juicer if you're following my specific instructions that I like to give. Let's see, I made a video using the CS600 for making juice bar recipes that are going to be sold or testing them. I'll put a link down below to that video so you guys want you to watch that where I share my tips. But more importantly, I want you guys to check out a video down below for any vertical slow juicer called Juice Like a Pro and any vertical slow juicer. That's my 10 tips on how to juice in one of these guys without having to use a pusher. The pusher should be your last resort only if things are getting clogged or jammed. You shouldn't need to use it regularly because that may allow you to push things too quickly into the juicer, which will definitely not be good, all right? All right, coming right apart now, let's go ahead and take off the top sets on both machines. And so this is the feed chute on the CS600. Here's the CS700. If we put those side by side, they're basically the same level. But if you look at this one's a little bit more streamlined. This one's a little bit more fat and clunky. If we do the side profile there, you guys can clearly see it. Like this is a lot wider here. This is a lot thinner. And the reason for that is on this one, they have a little chute in the back that's actually small. And they have a big chute right here that then actually pops up. And this is actually a 3.5 inch feed chute. And the 3.5 inch feed chute is on both machines. So both these have the same exact size feed chute. The only difference is on the CS700, it doesn't have that little back part with the little feed chute. Instead, they've done something really handy. They basically just put a hole in the middle of the trap door, and you could put it in there, put items in there. So it's actually a lot bigger. So I mean, honestly, I like the top set on the CS700 just because that little center hole is bigger than the hole in the back of the CS600. That being said, these trap doors are the same size, the largest on any vertical slow juicer that I'm aware of at this time, and they're both the same at 3.5 inches. This one is specifically good. The trap door is good for juicing whole fruits and big pieces of produce that don't need to be cut up in small pieces. So like tomatoes, apples, pears, no problem. Just throw them in there. They're gonna juice. Chunks of pineapple, with the core removed and with the rind removed, put in here, no problem. Chunks of watermelon, no problem. And now here's the thing, right? On things like leafy greens and celery, they should be pre-cut. So you can't just put it down the chute and expect it to work. While it will juice, it will clog up the machine as the pulp takes a right angle turn out of the machine. So I do recommend you guys to prepare that and cut it properly to 1/8 inch is what I recommend, but at least do 1/4 if you can't do 1/8, alright? And once again, that's in my video down below, Juice Like a Pro in any vertical slow juicer. So just because these have a large feed chute doesn't mean you can just start cramming things in as fast as you can. So that's kind of like the big misnomer of these juicers. But the other thing is, if you're in a commercial establishment, you want to focus some of your recipes around fruits like apples and things like tangerines like I juiced in the last episode. Things like tomatoes you can just put in whole, and they'll be juiced right up without any issue. Alright, so next, as you guys saw, the tops for the most part are pretty much the same. Just a different change in the top design. That being said, the CS700 top set's going to be easier to clean because it's basically a straight passageway right on through. And with this guy, it kind of makes a funky turn, a little bit harder to clean there. I do want to let you guys know that neither of these machines are dishwasher safe. And I do not encourage you guys to put these in a dishwasher, especially the high temp dishwashers of commercial establishments. You will want to use your 3-compartment sink to basically wash off all the parts of these. And then the only thing you'll need to do really is you're going to have to scrub down the screen well with the included screen cleaning tool to make sure right after you're done using it you dislodge all the pulp out of the screen. Otherwise pulp will harden the screen, lower the yield, and lower the performance of the machine. Alright, so coming out next here we got the auger out of both machines, and let's take a look at this. Alright, so if we put these augers up to you guys, to me, these augers for all practical purposes, they're the same exact auger. So you're getting the same exact auger no matter what machine you buy. Now next we're going to take out the screen. So here's a screen on the CS700. Here's a screen on the CS600. You guys see a difference? You're like, yeah, John, this one's black. Yes, because that's because this one has the automatic wiping blade on the unit, which is right here, and here's a screen. And the CS600 comes with this automatic wiping blade, and on the CS700 that item has been deleted, due to some of the nooks and crannies down in here. NSF probably wouldn't certify this, plus there's some places for potential bacteria to collect in between these little silicone gaskets. They probably didn't like that, so they basically deleted that, or made Kuvings take it out if they want to be in compliance with the NSF. So you're missing this part. Does this part really make a difference? Well, I've always had vertical juicers, for the most part, with this screen cleaning tool. So as your juicer's running, this spinning around and helping wipe down the screen, keep it a little bit cleaner, and ensure you're going to get the highest yield. Does it really make a difference? I would say yes, because if it did make a difference, they would not include these on virtually every, high-end single auger vertical juicer. And I really like it personally. So, when they removed it off this, I was a little bit saddened, but I understand why they did it. And, that's just what it is. So that's kind of like one of the negatives of the CS700 is that you're missing this wiping blade. But on another hand, actually it is a positive because it now is able to get certified NSF. So, next we could compare the juicing bowls here, or the drums, whatever you want to call them. The juicing bowl here, of course, just the BPA-free plastic. One hole in the middle here. It has a gearing set down here that basically spins as the motor's turning, and then it spins that little gear in there, if you guys can see that little white gear. And, that is, you need to clean that after you're done. Sometimes pulp or like strings get stuck underneath there, so that can be problematic. Other than that, it's just basically a bowl that's clear that you can actually see through, right? So let's compare that to the CS700. Wow, this bowl is significantly heavier. But this bowl, stainless steel. I think it's STS 304 if my memory serves me correctly. And if we look at the bottom of that, there is no gear. In the bottom of this, there's actually no gearing system like underneath the bottom of this, that's because there is no wiping blade, and that's what actually makes the wiping blade spin around, is the gearing underneath here. But yeah, this is all stainless steel, which actually I kind of like. And then it comes out with a plastic spout, which is pretty much looks like the spout on the CS600 to me. And yeah, so then this is just a lot more cleaner. There's like less nooks and crannies. There's a few more nooks and crannies inside the plastic bowl to clean, whereas the stainless steel bowl does not have any. Of course, they both have their smart cap here that prevents dripping on the counters, and I know some people also like to use this to do mixing in the bowl. So, you know, the challenge I have with that is on the clear unit, no problem. You could close this, the juice will back up. You can even see the level to it's at 4, 8, 12, 16 ounces. This is marked up to 500 milliliters. You never want to let this get too high because it's going to basically allow your juice is going to overflow. And my personal opinion is that when you close the spout cap, you're leaving juice in there and you're juicing at the same time, while some juice does, you know, come out and add to your level. The pulp is basically just sitting in juice that then is making the pulp going to be a little bit wetter, so you're going to lose some yield, in my opinion. So I encourage you guys always to have the spout cap open, unless it's just to prevent drips on your counter after you're done juicing. On the CS700, right, you could close this spout cap. Now the challenge with that is that you can't see through stainless steel, maybe unless you're Superman. So you can't see what level the juice is coming up to basically open the spout cap before you overflow it. So in that situation, it's very important to actually kind of look down the top of the smoke top chute to kind of see where you're at to release that if it is getting too full, because you don't want to let it overflow. Not good for anybody. That being said, I would encourage you guys just to leave your flap open. Alright, so that's the main differences between the bowls. And then if you look at the differences between the motor housings, I mean, to me, they're basically the same housing. There's maybe been some improvements because the CS600 came out about a year and a half ago, and now the CS700 came out now. So all during the time, Kuvings has like little rolling changes that I've noticed they do. They'll make this better, that a little bit better, and all production from this date forward has like the new design, new whatever. It's still compatible with the old version, but they just improved it by, you know, who knows what, making a better bushing or bearing or changing things around just a little bit, you know, to make a better user experience for you guys, all right? Oh, and then the other thing is, of course, this one has that little sticker on the side for the NSF, so that if your health department inspects you, you could say, you know, and they say, where's the NSF? You could say, it's right there, and they get out their magnifying glass, and they can see the NSF sticker. And on this one, it does not. So I do encourage you guys actually to call your local health department to find out if you require that or not. Some will say, yes, you require it, then you want to get the CS700. If they don't require it, I mean, while this one has some benefits over the CS600, for me, if I was starting a business, I didn't need NSF, and the health department said that they weren't going to need that anytime soon, I would definitely get this one. Not only is the machine a little bit less expensive, but I like the clear plastics that you could see through, plus I like the automatic wiping blade. Yeah, so I think that's the main difference between these guys. Let's go ahead and assemble these guys for you. So to assemble, they're very easy. We're taking the bowl, we're just going to drop that down, drops into place. We got the wiping blade and the juicing syringe, just put that in. And then we're going to line up the little red dot here with the red dot here. Another reason why I like the plastic version, because they actually do have the 2 red dots to line up. Next, we're going to go ahead and take the auger, just put the auger right down in there. And sometimes you got to like spin it to win it. You spin it, and then it's basically just going to sometimes drop down like a little bit for you once it catches like the once it's lined up. Then we're going to take our top set and we're going to line up the red dot to the red dot. It drops into place, and we're just going to go ahead and turn it to the close. So we've got the red dot to the close. If you assemble it correctly, the machine will turn on. Both these machines have the same durable motor. This is probably the most durable motor in any of the juicers that we sell at Discount Juicers, or any of the motors that I've currently seen to date on any slow juicer. This machine could run for 24 hours straight. The motor anyways, once again, the top set should be changed out after 20 minutes, or after recipe change, or after 2 liters of juice, all right? So over on the CS700, once again, super easy to assemble. Take the bowl, just drops right in place there. Then we're going to take the juicing screen, This juicing screen has a red dot, but there is no red dot on the stainless steel part. There's just like a little circle indentation here. So you're just going to line up the red dot with the little circle indentation. The screen kind of drops down. Doesn't quite drop down quite as sturdy as the CS600, but it locks down nonetheless. And then we're going to go ahead and take the auger and put the auger right in there. Might have to twist the auger, make sure it goes down and seats all the way fully. And then we're going to go ahead and take this housing with the red dot, line it up with the little dot in the stainless steel housing where it says open. And then this guy should basically go in, it drops down, and then you could turn this to the closed. And if you've assembled this correctly, it'll turn on as well. And yeah, so we got them both assembled properly. I think what I'm going to do next for you guys is we're going to go ahead and make like a lemonade or a limeade, whatever you want to call it, which is juicing organic apples, organic lime, and actually some ginger limeade. And we're going to go ahead and time how long it takes to juice in each of the juicers, in one of the juicers, because the time's going to be the same. I mean, basically it's the same feed chute. But what I'm really looking for is the yield. Does that wiping blade really wipe a little bit more juice off? Is it if so, is it any significant amount, or is it not that much, right? So anyways, we're going to go ahead and come back at you, and we're going to do a weigh-in. Alright, so now I'm all set up and ready to juice, but first we got to do a weigh-in to make sure we have a fair fight. We got organic apples, organic lime, and some organic ginger, both evenly weighed out in exact same amounts, but let's prove it to you guys. Going in for the weigh-in, 2 bowls of apples, basically identical. Over on the CS600 side, looks like we got 1574 grams. Over on the CS700 side, once again, 1574. Same amount of apples, lime, and ginger, 1574 on both scales. So now that we've got the weigh-in out of the way, let's go ahead and move out the scales and reveal my little timer here. So I'm just going to go ahead and time like when I'm juicing in the first one, because obviously it's going to take pretty much the same time, so I'm not going to basically be redundant to film the time in each one. And I guess the cool thing about the Kuvings whole slow juicer chef or master chef is that you can basically put the produce in whole. Generally I would recommend cutting the ginger into little 1/4-inch slices to ensure all the strings of the ginger is not going to clog up the feed chute port. I got it whole, so I'm just going to break it up into little pieces as I'm juicing. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and juice in the CS600 first. We're going to go ahead and open this flap here. So we have our trapdoor ready. We're going to turn this on, and then we're going to hit the start button. So let's turn it on, hit the start, and we're just going to start basically dropping in 1 apple at a time. Very important, right, to let the apple process before you put the next one in. If you just put 1, 2, 3 as fast as you can, they're going to line up here. The machine is not going to work as well. After 3, crushing up that apple quite well, making some nice apple juice. The pulp is coming out over on this side. And I want to let you guys know, if you guys are experiencing getting more of an apple sauce or a really thick juice, then you definitely want to check the quality of your apples. Soft and mealy apples make, a more apple sauce, and nice firm apples such as these are, make a nice juice. And here's the thing, let's go ahead and put in that whole lime, 1 whole lime in, crushes it on up, extracts it on out. I do encourage you guys, if you guys are juicing like apples or pears, have some lemon or lime there to help some of that oxidative damage from occurring. But yeah, soft apples cause apple sauce, and if you get a juicer in, this time of year, like August, September, it's probably fresh apples. But if you start juicing apples like next April, they've been in cold storage for 6 months, and they're gonna be a lot softer. So now I'm basically taking that ginger, and I'm just basically breaking it up into little pieces. Would be better if I cut this up, but I'm just doing the best I can because I didn't bring a knife with me today. And we're juicing it near the end anyway, so it really shouldn't have too big of an effect. Going right in there, juicing right up, and now we're going to go ahead and put the last few apples in there. I guess I wasn't going to speed this up for you, but I basically just talked myself through it. Pretty much almost done with the apples. It's crushing the second to the last one up, and we're about ready to throw that last one in. And actually we're up over the, I think, a 1,000 milliliter mark there. Last apple going in. For those of you guys that are interested, these nice glass collection cups are from IKEA. They're actually quite fragile, but I do like them a lot. And once you put the last produce item in, the thing I want you guys to remember is don't just put it in and then turn it off. As you guys can see, this is a slow juicer running at low and slow 60 RPMs, so that it will not, affect the antioxidants in any significant way like a high-speed juicer would, which literally injects air into your juice. This is not juiced instantly, so it's still kind of grinding, pressing. The wiping blade is still kind of wiping things down, and we're still getting some drips. Maybe like 30 seconds after you're done putting the last produce item in, after the pulp stops moving out of the pulp ejection port, then and only then you can turn it off. And so then we'll go ahead and hit the stop. So basically, in this case, we took to make 32 ounces or over 100 milliliters of juice. It took 3 minutes. So in my previous Mandarin test, I think I did like 1 minute for 16 ounces. So that would be 2 minutes. So 2 to 3 minutes, would be fastest time to juice. 1 minute or 1.5 minutes per 16-ounce juice. All right. It's probably going to take the same amount of time in the CS700 because pretty much I'm going to juice the same format. Pretty much the same way. We might throw a couple in there. Make sure our spout cap is open. And once again, this does not have the wiping blade. The other thing I want you guys to know is once you put the first item in, you may see some juice come out the pulp port. Don't be alarmed. This is totally normal, right? Don't freak out. Juice is coming out the wrong one, John. Right when you put it in, there's nothing in there to stop the juice from coming out until you got the pulp. Then it's going to come out the other side, all right? So what we're going to do now is we're just going to go ahead and speed this up for you guys to save you guys some time. Alright, that was the last apple going in the Kuvings CS700. Juicing it right up without any incident. I do want to let you guys know on all the feed chute juicers, you will always get some residual pulp that are stuck up into the chute area, like little bits and pieces. Completely normal. Don't think, oh, I got to get my hand in there to push it in. Don't do that. Don't ever stick your hands into the machine. This is one of the negatives or one of the cons of having a wide feed chute. So you have to cut up things smaller. Sometimes it doesn't get all the pieces. Sometimes I like to put in a few small pieces of carrots at the end. That might help kind of push that pulp that's stuck and get it into the juicer so it does get juiced. Alright, so it looks like the pulp pretty much stopped flowing out of the juice pulp port, and we're just getting a little bit of drips, so I think we're going to go ahead and turn that off. What I like to do on both these machines is we're just going to go ahead and tip that machine up. See how we're tipping that up a little bit? We're still getting a little bit of juice out of that, right? Then once it's pretty much close to stop dripping, then we're going to go ahead and close our spout cap and figure that's all the juice we got today. And once again on the CS600 we're going to do that same kind of technique. And let's see, we get a lot less drips, but this has basically been sitting here dripping while that guy's been juicing. Alright, so now what we want to do is let's go ahead and take a look at the pulps. For all practical purposes, I can't say one pulp is drier than the other. After all, they're using the same exact juicing screen and auger. This one has a wiping blade, that one does not. And let's go ahead and pick the pulp up here. We're going to squeeze that pulp. Look at that. I'm squeezing it with all my might, and I don't even see like one drip squeezing between my fingers. That was a pretty efficient juicer to basically get the pulp. It's not sawdust dry, guys, but I can't easily squeeze juice out of it. To me, that's actually kind of impressive, actually. Once again, we're taking this. Once again, these are hard, firm apples that juice really well. This one, pretty much the same way. I'm squeezing the pulp. I'm seeing pulp being squeezed, making a mess in my hands, but I'm not squeezing out any juice. Generally, certain juicer styles will be more effective at juicing certain produce items than others. So on these guys, I definitely say with apples, it's definitely a good yield. Say if you did carrots, you're probably going to get a lower yield on carrots with a vertical single auger than with like a high-speed centrifugal ejection machine. But on the fruits, you're going to get more, and on leafy greens, you're going to get more with the verticals, slow juicers, for sure. All right, I guess next, let's go ahead and compare how much each juicer made, and we're going to go ahead and do a close-up for you guys. All right, let's go ahead and give you guys a close-up on the yields. Unfortunately, we made more than 100 milliliters, which is what the line goes up to on the measuring cups here. But it looks like we're just a little bit over 100 milliliters on this side, and then over on this side, looks like once again we're just a little bit over 1,000 milliliters as well. To me, they look pretty freaking comparable. Can't really tell. Now, there's a color difference. That is because we did make this juice first. It's been sitting out a bit longer, so we're getting a bit more of the oxidative damage that's occurring. If we give this the same amount of time, it'll turn pretty much the same color, because I mean, obviously these machines use the same exact extraction technology. Let's see, if we look at the foam layer on the top, I mean, once again, don't look at the color of the foam. The foam on the other one will change this color after a little bit of time. It's like when you cut up an apple, it turns brown. There's a bit, bigger of a foam layer on that one than on this one. So, I mean, is that because of the wiping blade? I don't know. And did this one maybe make a tad more juice? I mean, I would say if it did make a tad more juice, it's just this is not a significant difference in yield to concern me at all. Alright, so what did we learn? We learned that basically both machines pretty much made the same yield. I'm not going to split hairs. I mean, maybe this one made more, maybe that one made more by a hair. But it's like, it's too close to call. We need like one of those photo finishes things. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and try some of the juice here from the CS600. Wow. Woo! Here's my tip for you guys. Don't add that much ginger. I'm feeling like ginger shot-ish, and the apple's just there for, extra dilution. I taste the lime too. Quite good. I do taste a little bit of texture in there. And now we're going to try the CS700 juice. I mean, for all practical purposes, they're like the same juice. Doesn't surprise me. They're basically using the same motor, the same auger, the same juicing screen. This one has a wiping blade, this one doesn't. This happens to be in stainless steel. This one's in BPA-free plastic. Juicing time's about the same. This machine is $300 less, and this machine, they both have 1-year warranties. This one is NSF if you need that. This one is not. I guess in the end, what juicer would I recommend? Well, I recommend getting the right machine for you, whatever that is. I don't currently have a juice bar, and I would stick with the CS600 because I don't really need the NSF, and actually kind of prefer the plastic a little bit more, and to have the wiping blade feature than not. Also have further flexibility. You can also use that sorbet attachment on this machine. You can't use it on that machine. And you could also, actually, if you do want to get the coarse screen, you could order it separately for this machine. And both machines, obviously, you could use that smoothie attachment that I showed you. Now, I guess the last thing I want to get into is the cleaning. So the cleaning actually is kind of nice on the CS700. So we're going to go ahead and take this apart, show you guys actually what's left in there. You can see there's a little bit of pulp left in this top feed chute, so this is part number 1 you have to clean. And then part number 2 and 3 you have to clean. Part number 2 is the auger. You can see there's stuff on the auger, maybe some stuff underneath the auger, and that's totally normal. Then we have the juicing screen. You guys can see the juicing screen. Oh yeah, look at the juicing screen, how the pulp is really clogging up. The juicing screen is already impacted, so I want you guys to notice how that looks in there. And then in the inside the screen, there's definitely some pulp in there, but that's totally normal. And then in the juicing bowl here, it's actually fairly clean. So basically there's 1, 2, 3, 4 parts to clean on this machine, which is actually really easy, really nice. Shouldn't take you more than, I don't know, 5 minutes maybe. Over on the CS600, pretty much the same thing. We have this top set here. This top set has a little more nooks and crannies due to the way it's designed. Take maybe a little bit longer to clean. But pretty much, similar amount of pulp on the inside, maybe even a little bit less. Then over here, we have this auger coming out. Once again, the auger, maybe a little bit less pulp on here, maybe because I ran it longer when I was done juicing, and a little bit of pulp underneath the auger. Once again, same auger clean. So that's part number 2. Then on this one, you have parts number 3 and 4. This is where the wiping blade makes a difference, in my opinion. Let's see. I want to show you guys that again. Look at this. With wiping blade, look at the screen. You guys see, there's there's some pulp in the screen, but it's not like bulging out. I mean, this is like overflowing with pulp. I would venture to say that maybe the pulp in the pulp And this juice might be a little bit more. I didn't strain it out. Maybe it's the same because this is letting it out, but this is just wiping it away and putting it into the juice as it's going. And then, of course, inside, you know, pretty much you have the same amount of things to clean on the inside. You know, there's still a lot of pulp in there, and that's the way it's designed. And then Kuvings has designed their bowl so that inside their bowl, it's actually fairly clean. So on this side unit, you're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 parts to clean. On this side, you're going to have 4 parts to clean. But, you know, once again, that screen a little bit more impacted with pulp. And I did only make 32 ounces, right? So after you made double this amount, or 2 milliliters, 2,000 milliliters, 2 liters, they'd want you to change out this top set. Definitely makes sense to me, because if the top set's getting this clouded up with after 1 liter, after 2, you definitely want to make sure you change that out. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this episode. I guess the main thing is, if you're buying this for commercial use and you need NSF, get the CS700, the NSF one, get the right one, the first get-go. Yeah, it's missing the wiping blade. Yeah, you know, not so good, but on the other hand, it's NSF stainless steel bowl, which is really nice. They come both units come with 2 top sets, and that one's actually also a little bit easier to clean. And I didn't, in this test with this amount of produce, I didn't notice any significant yield change. Of course, if you don't need the NSF, then basically I'd recommend this guy. Why? It's $300 less. It has, you know, once again, 2 top sets, has a wiping blade, which I like more. The other thing I didn't tell you guys, you can also use a self-cleaning function on both these, on this machine. It doesn't really work so well on this because you don't have the automatic wiping blade. How that works is you're basically going to, you know, assemble this machine back together with the auger and everything in there. You're going to pour water through the spout, maybe like 500 milliliters in here, and you're just going to close that and let the water run. This wiping blade is going to run around the screen, squeeze it down, get it a little bit cleaner so that when you clean it, it's going to be, you know, significantly easier to clean with less, you know, build up and pulp on the parts. Then you just basically drain off that water and, you know, throw it on some plants or throw it down the sink. And then your juicer is going to be a little bit more easy for you to clean. Because this doesn't have the automatic wiper blade, it's not really going to be effective at the self-cleaning function that companies like to advertise. And if you guys are home users, then, you know, in most cases I would recommend the CS600 if you need a heavy-duty commercial machine. I wouldn't recommend this one because, once again, it doesn't have that wiping blade and it's $300 more. Unless you got to have a stainless steel look, but you got the stainless steel look, but then you don't have the, you know, you don't have the functionality of the wiping blade, which I'm kind of a functionality type of guy. I like function over look. So that's pretty much it. If you guys enjoyed this episode, hey, please be sure to support me and my work by making your purchase at discountjuicers.com. Once again, link is down below in the description. Also, the first comment underneath the video. If you like this video, please be sure to give me a thumbs up. Also, be sure to share this video in forums where people are, you know, trying to find out what's the best commercial juicer, or maybe if you want a heavy-duty commercial juicer for your home. Yeah, share this video around. Let people know about this video so that they can see and learn the differences between these 2 machines. Also, be sure to click that subscribe button right down below so you don't miss out on my new upcoming episodes. I've coming out every, I don't know, week, 5 to 7 days. You never know what new juicer, what new comparison, what new vacuum blender I'll be testing and demonstrating with you guys so you guys can eat more fresh fruits and vegetables. Also, be sure to click the little bell so you get notified as my new videos come out. And finally, be sure to check my past episodes. Past episodes are a wealth of knowledge, over 500 episodes at this time on this YouTube channel, dedicated to teach you guys comparing and contrasting all the different major brand juicers on the market so that you guys get the right one for you and you can become juicers for life that I am. I've already drank 3 juices today, and this one might be my 4th. So with that, my name is John Color with discountjuicers.com. Be sure to visit discountjuicers.com/YouTube for special promotional offers for our YouTube visitors.